Welcome to the Probite British Rally Championship. On the banks of the River Dee, we raise the curtain on the second half of the season here in Scotland for the Voly Grampian Forest Rally. As we do so, we remember Di Roberts, a well-respected co-driver and much-loved character of the sport. Di tragically lost his life in an accident at the Jim Clark Rally, which caused round 3 of the championship to be suspended. James Williams, who was driving at the time, suffered severe injuries but continues to make progress. We continue rallying this season with James and Di in our thoughts. It's tight at the top with William Crichton and Marion Evans neck and neck. William underlined his winning credentials with victory in last month's Nicky Grist stages. Whilst not a round of the BRC, it is a favourite for crews to prepare for the Grampians gravel stages. Evans was runner-up to teammate Crichton by just 2.6 seconds on that same event, so expect a titanic team battle here in Scotland. In third and fourth position, Callum Black and Robert Jurgensen are hot on their heels. In the junior ranks, Kyle McBride leads the way, with Joseph Kelly, Jack Brennan and Callum Graffin in a very close battle for the remaining top spots. We've got 2 stages on Friday night, followed by 8 more on Saturday, so that means it's time to join David Addison for the early action.
Holly, thanks. Time to get action back underway then in the Probite British Rally Championship, and the opening stage is at Hobseat, 23 kilometres away from Aberdeen, and a 7-mile test that has some fast sections, a tight hairpin and a really twisty element as well. The roads are dry, and after recent warm temperatures it could well be that dust is an issue for the later runners, so running early on the road is going to be crucial to the outcome of this event. First on the road, as he has been all season, and still feeling the warmth of his success on the gravel of the non-championship Nicky Grist stages, here is joint championship leader William Crichton along with co-driver Liam Regan. Now, Crichton has the benefit of a dust-free road, but the loose gravel surface offers little grip on this opening stage, even allowing for the relative lack of grip though. Crichton looks impressive here. Robert Jurgensen comes here fresh from an impressive 5th place in the WRC2 category on the Rally Estonia, and 6th in Finland as well. Both pretty good preparations for this event. Sim Oya is guiding him on the pace notes, but last year's junior world champion is looking slower than Crichton, even to the naked eye. That's a very clear misfire I can hear. In fact, it sounds like it's running on 3 cylinders. Even better preparations for this man, Romit's M-Sport teammate Gary Pearson, alongside Hannah McKillop, who now has his name on the Scottish Rally Trophy after using the event as a warm-up for the Voly Grampian Rally. The first time of the rally is put down, and Crichton looks mighty with a time of just over 6 minutes and 17 seconds for the 6.88 miles. Now we need to see how that compares to the rest, and just a couple of seconds behind Crichton at the Nicky Grist stages was this man, Marion Evans. Can he go one better here? Dale Furness will be doing his best to guide him.
Into watch, 3 right, 2 left, tightens down, sudden turn, and 6 left, don't miss. Back it up. 50.
30 years ago, Colin McRae won the World Rally Championship in a Subaru Impreza, and here's Colin's nephew Max showing that the McRae genes run deep. Cameron Fair is on the notes, and Max is looking good in here, and he's on target for the 2nd fastest time. So how does Robert Jurgensen stack up against William Crichton? Not well, in fact, because his time of 6 minutes 47 is about 30 seconds slower. Now, what can Gary Pearson do about Crichton's time? Well, his is better than Jurgensen's, but he's still around 13 seconds adrift of Crichton. Crichton's absolutely on fire in here, so Pearson battles to be 4th fastest behind Evans. This is Marion Evans, Crichton's teammate, and this is going to give us a good indication of whether it's man or machine in here. And the answer is it's man. Evans stops the clock 10 seconds slower than Crichton. Callum Black is having a good season, tucked in behind Crichton and Evans, who are joint leaders in the championship. Here, he's on a mission, as you can see from the energy in the car. Jack Morton in the co-driver's seat, urging on his man.
5-8 plus through depth.
On board with Max McRae, co-driver Cameron Fair on the notes. It's his word in which Max puts his trust to go flat out on every stage. Here, he is closest to Crichton after stage one, less than 10 seconds adrift, but it's still a big gap after one stage.
And 6-8 plus short, 100.
There will be frustration at the margin, but still, no need to take it out on our cameras, Max. Matthew Hurst and Declan Deere are enjoying a steady season and come here 7th in the championship. The only Skoda Fabia flying BRC colours this weekend is enjoying this late afternoon run. However, they are 20 seconds shy of the mercurial Crichton. It's good to see 5 times Northern Ireland champion Jonathan Greer, along with Niall Burns, on this event, guiding their Toyota Yaris Rally 2 into 6th position on this opening stage, but a long way off the pace of the early leader. Last year's junior champion Robert Proudlock is taking a step up this season in his Ford Fiesta Rally 3 Evo. Harry Marchbank is counting the corners. This man could easily be Proudlock's successor as junior champion. Carl McBride, with Darren Mullen next to him, leads the championship and is once again looking quick here. He's had 2 wins on tarmac this season, but can he do it on the slippery stuff? He stops the clock at a 7:12.7, and that looks good against the opposition.
13.
But it's not as good as Joe Kelly here, who shaves a full 2 seconds off McBride's time. And this is a battle that's going to go down to the wire.
Into turn early, 4-8, remember, turn early, 4-8.
Special stage 2 is the charmingly named Hurley Bog test, just a shade over 4 miles in length and a pretty fast and flowing piece of real estate. A good time in here should be just under 3.5 minutes, and it's important to do well in here to secure a good position prior to a full day of action tomorrow. And with William Crichton nearly 10 seconds clear, the opposition needs to hack into that deficit right now. Championship leader Crichton is again looking assured on this short second stage as he tries to go fastest for the second time today and build a really big gap after just 2 tests. He's taken to the Toyota really impressively this season and is the man to beat on the opening day. Now this is Gary Pearson. If he's the next driver we see, that suggests Robert Jurgensen has had a drama on this stage, and possibly a major one. He should have been next on the road. On board with Marion Evans in that second Toyota. The Castrol MEM team's dominance so far is very McLaren-esque. No one really able to match them, and Evans is again looking good on SS2.
Long, 3 left, in, don't late.
Now, if this were a boxing match, I think the others might have thrown in the towel. William Crichton finishes the second stage more than 5 seconds quicker than anyone else, and he's now 16 seconds clear of teammate Evans after 2 stages. Evans is just over 5 seconds slower on Hurley Bog, but that's a decent effort. He's second on the stage and second in the order overnight. Max McRae, 4th fastest in Hurley Bog, and that puts him 3rd overall after a good evening's work. The Citroën has kept out of drama over the opening tests, and McRae can build on that going into tomorrow. Robert Jurgensen might be struggling, and we understand he's just down on power rather than having had an off. But Gary Pearson has been keeping the M Sport spirits up. Gary, 3rd fastest here, that's 4th overall, 5 seconds off Evans in the battle for 2nd place. It's been a nice and steady run from Callum Black, and he will finish the first day in 5th spot. It's been a pretty dusty afternoon for him as well. Jonathan Greer rounds out the top 6 in the BRC category, his Toyota making its gravel debut. So an encouraging start to the event, and he can build on that tomorrow as well. Joe Kelly extends his lead in the junior battle with Carl McBride, but it's very close.
220. 6 left, 80.
But the talking point in service is what has happened to Robert Jurgensen.
On the first straight, when I put the stage mode in, I realized we only have 3 cylinders. And after changing the spark plug as well on the road section, after stage 1, it was still the same. So yeah, we have to figure out what's going on.
So Robert Jurgensen is 9th after 2 stages and a full 50 seconds off the lead. It's William Crichton in charge then, ahead of Marion Evans. The gap 16.3 seconds, with Max McRae third, ahead of Gary Pearson, Callum Black and then Jonathan Greer. We'll be back with all Saturday's action right after the break.
Welcome back to the forests of Scotland. As England celebrate their recent victory in the Women's Euros, interest in women in sport is at an all-time high. And in rallying, women are to be found in every area of the sport.
So I build cars in the workshop and then go on events and do obviously services at the rallies and repair the cars where needed.
Hayley is by no means a lone female figure in the M Sport setup, with many colleagues working across the entire range of the company's portfolio. And the charge towards equality isn't just in the workshops and service areas.
It'd be great to see more getting involved, whether it's driving or navigating or even marshalling or anything, but yeah, it'd be good to have more drivers involved and then have a good wee ladies battle.
What about yourself, Nikki?
Yeah, much the same. It's good. To be fair, in Scotland there is a good handful of female drivers, but last year I noticed when I ventured down to England and Wales for the Pro Tire, there's not as many. And a lot of people were a bit more shocked to see me in the driver's seat, but hopefully we can push it over Britain a bit more.
Sometimes there's the presumption that maybe, you've got a seat because you're female or whatever, but it's not the case at all. I've worked hard in motorsport for 11 years. I've worked in it, co-driven in it, organised in it, worked all around the sport, and all of that comes together to give me the experience and put me where I am today. And I've worked extremely hard, made loads of sacrifices to get here, and it's a real privilege, but it doesn't come without sacrifices.
And sitting next to Hannah in the ERC is Aoife Raftery, who has already shown BRC fans what she can do. M Sport owner Malcolm Wilson cannot wait for rallying's next Wonder Woman to emerge.
Well, there's nobody who'd love to see another Michelle Newton more than me. That lady must be out there somewhere. Obviously the FIA looking at it. We've obviously got it in the junior championship as well. So it would be great, obviously, to have a competitive one, but it would be a real top up for the sport. And if we could get a woman that could compete at the same level as Michelle, would just be, it would do marvels for the sport.
But let's leave the last words to Hayley Harrod, who's very clear about what any young woman who wants to get involved in the sport should do.
It's not something that's going to be handed to you, and you can't ever expect it to be. So you have to go out, you have to fight for it, you have to look for what you actually want to do and just go for it. You've got to believe in yourself, otherwise you don't get anywhere.
Never a truer word said, and that'll be exactly how our overnight leaders are feeling. Now let's see if they can continue that into the first 3 stages of day 2. It's over to David Addison with the story.
Stage 1 of the day is stage 3 of the event, and it is Whitehall, a test that measures just 6.3 miles and is expected to be around the 5.5 minute mark for the front runners. It's fast but dusty, so grit as well as visibility could be key factors in here, and we will soon see how much of an advantage it is to run first on the road. It's relatively fast and open in here, so it's game on as the opposition tries to close on leader William Crichton. Key amongst them, Robert Jurgensen. So first on the road is rally leader Crichton. He's clearly enjoying the advantage of having a dust-free road ahead of him, and he's once again looking very strong indeed. That lead gap looks set to grow further. Marion Evans is still the only one capable of keeping in Williams' wheel tracks in the second Toyota run by his father's team, but even he can't match Crichton's pace and is still well behind. This might just turn out to be Max McRae's first visit to a BRC podium since the Cambrian Rally in 2023. He's going really well, and for a man who was injured on the opening event of the season, the East Riding Stages, he's bounced back stronger than ever. Crichton finishes the first stage of the day at 5 minutes and 31 seconds, and that should be enough to be fastest to make it 3 stage wins in a row. It's teammate Marion Evans who is closest to him, but the gap is still significant. Over 5 seconds lost on this stage, 25 seconds the gap in total, and that's a margin that is going to take some work to bring down. You can also see how much dust there is hanging in the air. Now, if Max McRae can keep pushing, he might be able to attack Evans for second place. Here, he's a tenth slower than Evans, and the battle for second place is on. It's a two-way tussle. He's 1.6 seconds behind the second Toyota now.
6 right tightens, 3 plus half long, On brow.
Callum Black isn't completely out of that battle as he's only 12 seconds adrift of third place, and if anyone falters ahead, he is ideally placed to strike.
40, short, flat 5 right. 40, 6 left, 33 right, sharp in. And
Matthew Hurst may feel that he's still in with a chance if others slip up as well. He's going nicely in his battle with Jonathan Greer, but for the moment, the Skoda is behind, albeit not by much. Greer is ahead of Hurst overall, the margin 4.6 seconds, and Jonathan is becoming ever more confident in the Toyota on gravel. He's looking now to threaten Black, who's 7 seconds up the road. Now what's happened to Gary Pearson? Let's see if we can work it out. It's a puncture. Now we did think punctures could be an issue today, and that is going to set him well back, but he and Hannah McKillop should at least be able to get to the end of the stage without needing to change the wheel. And the M Sport team is having a disaster of the day. Punctures and delamination for Robert Jurgensen as well. Listen to that noise. So much for the fight back. Life just got worse for the Carlisle Stages winner. It's all change in the juniors as well, as Kyle McBride posts a time that's nearly 10 seconds quicker than Joe Kelly's. Now that's strange to be faster by such a massive margin unless Kelly has hit problems. Overall, that puts McBride ahead now by 2 seconds. On to special stage 4, the Clattering Kist stage, at 4.3 miles in length. It's not a long stage, but it is one that punishes mistakes, with the road climbing towards the end, and the front runners should be gobbling up this forest in a little over 3 minutes. You have to be fast and precise in here, and with William Crichton just under 20 seconds clear now, some heroics are needed from the rest to catch the flying Toyota. The concentration levels are high as William Crichton wrestles his way round Clattering Kist, Liam Regan guiding him through the stage. Marion Evans is still chasing in second place, but just doesn't seem to have the pace to match Crichton, never mind start to go quicker and nibble away at that deficit. Second looks his for the taking, but there will be frustration for Evans that he's playing second fiddle here. The car looks quick, and we've seen this year and last just what it's capable of, but Evans needs that little extra pace to challenge for wins. He's third fastest through here. Callum Black is still chasing for a podium finish, but he's only 7th fastest on Clattering Kist, so that drops him a chunk of time. He's now 4th overall.
right, go 200.
It's not a great day for the M Sport team, but with the puncture sorted, Gary Pearson looks to have found his mojo. 5th on this stage, he's up to 7th overall. And his teammate Robert Jurgensen is on a mission as well. In fact, he's really flying. He has absolutely nothing to lose now, and with the down on power engine yesterday and a puncture today, all he can do is try to salvage points. 2nd fastest here, 13th overall now. But no one is flying more than Crichton, who finishes on a 3 minutes 9.5 to take a 4th stage win in a row. He's looking unstoppable now with a 26-second lead. This is what happens when your car is no longer misfiring and you don't get a puncture. The real Robert Jurgensen has appeared, and he finishes less than a second behind Crichton. What a shame he had those earlier problems, because the rally could look very different had he been on the pace from the get-go. Marion Evans finishes just under 5 seconds behind Crichton, 3rd fastest here, 2nd overall. He still looks to be the only driver who could challenge Crichton, but the gap is surely too big now.
So flat left through depth to crest and flat 2 left in 80, very fast, 3 right minus, don't go wide. 40 hold. 0.2
of a second behind Evans is Max McRae, who continues to look the best bet out of the non-Castrol MEM drivers. 4th here, he's 3rd overall, and he's going well. The All-Irish skirmish in the juniors is now so tight it's impossible to call. This time, Joe Kelly is 0.6 of a second quicker than Kyle McBride as the pendulum starts to swing back in favour of Kelly. But overall, McBride is a 1.5 seconds up, albeit the gap is coming down. He can't relax.
Tight 5 right. Tight 5 right, middle over, into flat 6 left over, 80. Flat 6 left again, 100. Flat 6 left through the finish. Keep it in it.
Yep.
That's you. Stop.
Rob Cotton leads the national class with Ethan Kidd doing co-driver duties. Their Subaru, a hit with the fans. Whilst Alex Vassallo and Michael Gilby head the open class in their Ford Fiesta Rally 2. Special Stage 5 is the spectator stage at the BA Barn in Kintore. It is aimed at taking rallying to the people rather than making fans trek into the woods. And at just 1.65 miles long, it certainly won't be the most challenging of stages. It could, though, trigger errors, and that in turn means a loss of time that drivers can ill afford, especially with the leaderboard so tight. There are some quick straights and very tight chicanes, so precision is needed here. William Crichton is first into the stage, and with dust billowing from the back of the car, this all feels a bit cautious, look. Now that might be the plan with a big lead, but Crichton's time is a 2:33, which seems a big chunk slower than expected. Is this a problem, or is it part of the game plan?
We're just trying to do our own thing, and it's working so far. You know, this afternoon's going to be tricky. The stages get rough up here, so just trying to be really tidy. It's super slippery in there, all the stages. For the first couple of guys in, it's a real challenge, but yeah, it's going okay so far.
So Crichton is beaten for the first time on this event. The first stage he hasn't won. A rejuvenated Robert Jurgensen blitzes the short track, 6.2 seconds quicker, and that's really impressive. Gary Pearson, though, goes quicker still, a time at 2 minutes 23. That's almost 4 seconds quicker than anyone else, and 10 seconds quicker than Crichton. Pirelli-supported Marion Evans is also a bit off the pace, almost as slow as Crichton, although actually he's 8/10 quicker than his teammates, and I wonder if it's down to tyres this, and that the rubber just doesn't like the different ground underneath. Matthew Hurst puts in a mega time, though, 4th fastest here, just 2.6 seconds off Jurgensen. And then Jonathan Greer does exactly the same time. That underlines just how competitive it is in the top 10 this weekend. Max McRae's 8th fastest here, but with Evans struggling, it means that he's up to 2nd place, just 3/10 ahead of the Toyota driver now. The battle for 2nd is well and truly alive. Callum Black is 4/10 slower than McRae here. He's 4th, chasing down Evans. There's still quite a gap to make up. Kyle McBride now has just over 5 seconds on Joe Kelly in the ever-changing juniors battle. All to play for in the juniors then, but can anyone catch the flying William Crichton? Join us after the break to find out.
Well, we are back with the blackboard, and it's time to get to know Marion Evans a little bit more. Off you go. Ooh, over the Irish Sea. Have you ever done it before?
4 times. Could have won it last year, but we had a problem on the first day, so I'm going to try again in a few weeks.
Well, thank you very much. That's us. We've got to know Marion Evans that little bit more, and now it's back to David Addison.
Scare Hill is our 6th stage of the rally, and it's one that the crews will use twice as it doubles up as SS9 as well. It's 7.3 miles long and has plenty of corners to negotiate, some fast and some very tight. There's a fast descent towards the end of the stage, and as ever on these W's tests, it's going to be interesting to see if the first or second passing is the quicker. Well, having filled in Holly's blackboard, here is Marion Evans looking to make that tiny amount of time up on Max McRae to reclaim 2nd. He doesn't look that quick here and posts a time that's over 10 seconds slower than rally leader Will Crichton, and that is thanks to an overshoot. That won't help in the fight with McRae. Leader Will Crichton is already well up the road, and if the previous stages are anything to go by, he's going to be driving fast but steady, making full use of the gap he has. No heroics will be the plan. This isn't just about a rally win, but the championship lead as well. Max McRae puts another 8 seconds between himself and Evans, and that 2nd place looks ever more likely.
Into early flats 5 right plus on Chris Clip. 50 down, 4 left plus, over 150, opens through dip, into 6 right minus, opens on flat brow.
Through the dust, this is Ron Jørgensen. He would certainly have been looking for victory, but for his problems yesterday and early this morning. He wins this stage, but surely all too little too late. He's running out of stages.
And
4th on this stage and 4th overall. Callum Black has his eye on the rear view mirror now.
flat left, 100. Rightish over flat crest and flat left and flat brow.
And the reason Black is looking over his shoulder is this man, Gary Pearson. He posts exactly the same time as Crichton in here, which puts him half a second behind Black. So 1st, 2nd and 3rd look set, but there's a good scrap unfolding for the rest of the leaderboard. On the subject of scraps, Carl McBride and Joe Kelly seem tied together by a piece of invisible string. They post exactly the same time on this stage, so Kelly keeps his junior BRC lead of just under 6 seconds. Stage 7 is another busy one. The Finn Glennie test is full of corners, and although it's just 5.75 miles long, it's a real challenge. A good stage-winning time in here should be around 5 minutes and 5 seconds, so that's the target for the top runners on a stage that's used just once on the event. From the start, you drop downhill, and then after the first mile, you start climbing, and keep on climbing for another 3 miles. This has been a classic Will Crichton drive. He's put loads of distance between himself and the rest and then driven within himself to the end. He looks to be at 95% now, but that's no bad thing. A win is a win no matter what margin. No question that Ron Jørgensen would have been Crichton's biggest challenger. He's been flying since his problems were fixed. His times are good, and no doubt M-Sport boss Malcolm Wilson is impressed by his never-say-die attitude. Marianne Evans hasn't had the luxury of taking it easy like his teammate. He's been in a big battle with McRae from the off.
Flat 2 left of a crest, 100 lay by slow, long 2 left in 60 watch, late-ish 5 left of a crest.
There doesn't seem to be much between them to the naked eye. The stopwatch will tell its own story. Max McRae is 2nd overall coming into this stage and looks to be edging away.
5 left minus short, 30. Long flat crest into 6 right over 70, dip short.
Gary Pearson, like his teammate Ron Jørgensen, has sprung into life now his troubles are behind him. He's 7 fastest through Finn Glennie. Crichton finishes on a 5 minutes 5.8 second time. He's just stroking it home now. That's a decent time, but the splits of those behind suggest it won't be a stage winner. And here's the proof. Ron Jørgensen takes over a second out of that to win the stage. A question of what might have been for the M-Sport man. That's a second stage win in a row for a man dovetailing World and British Championship outings. Marianne Evans, 7/10 of a second slower than teammate Crichton. More importantly now, he needs to be demonstrably quicker than Max McRae in the battle for second place. So how does McRae do through here? Exactly 1 second slower than Evans, so Max's lead is now under 7 seconds. Evans is 2nd quickest to Jørgensen here, and McRae is only 4th. Gary Pearson started this morning in 8th after his puncture issues yesterday, but he's now 5th. Steady progress, but can he bridge the gap to a podium spot? Jonathan Greer has been 5th overall pretty much all day, but he's now slipped behind the charging Pearson, and 6th is where he is after the Finn Glennie stage. Joe Kelly puts nearly another 4 seconds between himself and Carl McBride. It's not decisive yet, but McBride has his work cut out if he wants to be on the top step of the junior BRC podium. It's been a great battle between the two, and it isn't over yet. Stage 8 is next, and that is Durris. We are 20 kilometres away from Aberdeen, and the stage itself is 7 miles long, starting with a relatively steep climb that keeps on going, with the highest point coming at around 6.5 miles in. We're looking at times of just over 5 minutes in here, and drivers need to be careful because with so many corners, mistakes can come easily. Having won all 4 of the opening stages, Will Crichton hasn't topped any of the last 3, but he's keeping his times competitive and no one is really challenging them. He's doing exactly enough to maintain the rally lead and take a second win of the season. He and co-driver Liam Regan can now preserve the margin, not take any risks and bring it home. Max McRae may be second and heading for his best ever BRC result, but he's still some 30 seconds shy of Crichton and drops 3 seconds in here alone. That illustrates Crichton's impressive pace. Marianne Evans has seen second become third as he struggles to keep pace with McRae. Max's Citroën C3 isn't as quick as the Toyota Yaris car, so that's a fine effort to split them. Callum Black has overshot a turn. The marker tape he takes with him hasn't really been aerodynamically tested, and that time loss will cost him a lot of ground. He's only 12th quickest in here. Like his teammate Robert Jurgensen, Gary Pearson feels he has something to prove after his gremlins, and he certainly has been motoring today. Hannah McKillop giving plenty of encouragement, and here they're second fastest.
140.
So 6 minutes 50.3 is the target time, but there's no doubt Crichton is driving with his head and well within himself. Expect his time to be beaten, but Crichton remains at the top of the leaderboard, error-free. McRae goes slower though. He's actually over 3 seconds down on that time of Crichton. He will be looking out for Marianne Evans' time nervously because that's going to affect their fight for second place. Now Evans sideways is on for a 6 minutes 48 to be quickest so far. What has that done to the overall picture? Crude math suggests that McRae will keep second place by just 1.6 seconds. It's all to play for on the last 2 stages, but that underlines how close it's been between the two. Evans, in fairness, fighting back into the mix. Robert Jurgensen takes another stage win. That's 3 in a row now, and he's up to 8th place in this excellent recovery. Considering he's new to these stages, the recovery drive has been impressive, and it's not done yet. And it's a forward stage, it seems, because not only is Jurgensen flying, but so too is Gary Pearson, who is on for the second fastest time behind Jurgensen. That means the second recovering Fiesta is in 4th place overall. Jonathan Greer has looked good all day, and this is another top 6 run, which keeps him 5th overall. That's a good effort, as, remember, his Toyota makes its gravel debut. It will be good to see more of Greer doing a full BRC season. Joe Kelly may have just wrapped it up here as far as junior honours are concerned. 6 seconds quicker than Carl McBride and 10 seconds ahead overall. And on this stage, Kelly has a puncture as well, so he's managed that problem really well to be ahead of rival McBride. Jack Brennan is less lucky though, and he's out with mechanical issues in his Peugeot. So after 8 stages, William Crichton leads the event by over half a minute from Max McRae second, Marianne Evans third, and Gary Pearson's up to 4th now ahead of Jonathan Greer and Callum Black. Robert Jurgensen's fight back continues, and he's 8th with 2 more stages to go after the break. Welcome back to the Probite British Rally Championship here on the Voly Grampian Rally. The weather has been kind to us here in the forest, although our camera operators battling the dust might feel differently. It's time for stage 9, a second run through Scare Hill, on which Robert Jurgensen was quickest first time around. He will be the pace setter here again as he tries to fight back in the event. But still taking it easy is rally leader Will Crichton. He knows he has plenty of time in hand, but he looks to have noticeably upped the pace here, perhaps conscious of letting the margin dwindle too much. In terms of stage results, Robert Jurgensen from SS4 onwards has recorded second, first, and first. What's he going to deliver here on the second passing? The split suggests it's not quick enough. Gary Pearson, though, is another driver who is clawing his way back after a puncture earlier in the event, and he's back up to 4th. Marianne Evans fighting the bucking beast that is his Toyota GR Yaris Rally 2. He's in a big battle to be second.
230. Slow, 2 left entry, fast, 4 right in. 60. 2 right dips a bit to Crest Junction, flat 2 left in.
The man Evans has been fighting for second spot all day is Max McRae, and he knows he can't afford even the smallest mistake. Coming into this stage, McRae was ahead by 1.6 seconds, so it's incredibly close. Crichton delivers a time of 6 minutes 30 exactly. That looks pretty quick, and he's left a lot of dust hanging in the air for the pack to eat. Robert Jurgensen is 7 seconds off Crichton's pace here. Now that's partly because Crichton's turning up the wick, but it also suggests Jurgensen may have a problem because the recent pace has been so impressive. It's a surprise to see him jettison time in here. Gary Pearson is just 7/10 of a second behind Crichton's time, and he's another driver who could have been seriously challenging for a podium spot but for that puncture. Like Jurgensen, his recovery has been impressive.
Then open flat 2, 40, flat 2 left, slip over small crest after opening 80, flat crest, into left to sugar flat crest.
Marianne Evans stops the clock at 6 minutes 34.7. Now, how does that compare to Max McRae? McRae is 2.5 seconds quicker, and now he's over 4 seconds clear of Evans overall. He still can't risk any mistakes on the last stage, though.
5 left minus, half long, tight, fast, 4 plus hook.
Callum Black is 5th on this stage, and he'll be rueing that one mistake on stage 8. Still, it's been a good rally for the man from Brackley, and he's now 5th overall. The final stage, SS10, is Laird's Lay. It is 6.9 miles long, it rises, falls and rises again, and it's fast and open. It's the kind of stage that encourages drivers to have one last push, one last roll of the dice. And if they get it wrong, this forest can bite. Will Crichton then is the rally leader. All he's got to do, seemingly, is stroke it home. This is Crichton, the rally leader. A second BRC rally win of the season beckons for him, and so too does the championship lead. It's been a really impressive rally for him. This man is looking mighty fast though. Robert Jurgensen wishing to make a point here, but the car has got a lot of damage, so it looks as though he's hit something early in the stage, and now we need to see how much time that's going to lose him. Gary Pearson has moved up a place on almost every stage, and like Jurgensen's story, it's a case of what might have been. Heading for second place and a leap up the championship standings, Max McRae has had an event-long battle with Marianne Evans, but looks like he's seen off the challenge. Max is set for his best ever BRC result, and where better than on Scottish roads.
Slowing, 1 left minus.
And the man who has seen off all the challenges is Will Crichton. He will end up 32.5 seconds clear of anyone else.
Well done.
Absolutely dominant. Well done indeed. Robert Jurgensen still wins this stage, his 4th stage win of the day, and despite all his problems comes home 6th. A great recovery drive, damage notwithstanding. Another scintillating recovery drive here, this time from Gary Pearson, 4th overall and 4th on this stage. One place better, and on the last step of the podium, Marianne Evans, who couldn't catch Max McRae despite his best efforts. But a podium on gravel is a big result for him.
Flat right, 130.
Max McRae has shone here, and in the end had 10 seconds in hand to take the runners-up spot, his best ever BRC finish. Callum Black and Jack Morton take 6th, despite that spin on stage 8, a late victim of the Jurgensen charge, who stole his 5th place at the very last.
100 up now, be brave.
And Joe Kelly was, in the end, a comfortable winner of the junior laurels as Carl McBride's challenge fell away. So, a rally win for Will Crichton, his 2nd of the season, and with it, the championship lead now ahead of Max McRae, a popular 2nd as he comes through for his best ever BRC finish. Marianne Evans takes 3rd ahead of Gary Pearson, and a podium result on gravel for Evans will be a real confidence booster. Callum Black and Robert Jurgensen tied on times for 5th, Jurgensen given the nod as he was quicker than Black on the final stage. So, it's Jurgensen 5th and Black 6th, as Holly caught up with our top 3 finishers.
If you'd have said that I'd be standing on a gravel podium, I'd be telling you you're lying. So, yeah, it's been okay. It's been pretty good. I've enjoyed it, and I think the last stage was the ruts were so deep, and I don't really know how to drive in ruts yet. So that's something to work on. But yeah, if we can walk away with the podium, and it's good points as well. So on to tarmac now and my home rally. So hopefully that Lady Luck looks down on me for that one for once this year.
Max, you're not going anywhere yet. We need a bit of that emotion. You've finally achieved that elusive BRC podium. We can see what it means to you. Can we have a couple words?
Maybe. Yeah, it means a lot, clearly, yeah. So, yeah, this year's been super tough, so...
Well done. Well done, Max.
We did have some moments, but thankfully pretty much all the rally was clean and we had no issues. The car was fantastic, the tyres were reliable all weekend. So yeah, big thanks to Michelin and Melvin Evans and all the guys at the Motorsport Iron Rally Academy in Castrol. It's all those guys that people don't see behind the scene that make it possible.
3 very happy drivers on the Voly Grampian Rally podium, each with different reasons to celebrate. Will Crichton now has a clear lead in the championship. Max McRae on the second step for the first time ever, and Marion Evans a very well-deserved podium on gravel. So Will Crichton is 10 points ahead in the championship now from teammate Marion Evans. Callum Black third, Robert Jurgensen fourth, and it's Gary Pearson fifth, with Max McRae now sixth, ahead of the absent Keith Cronin, Matthew Hurst, Elliot Payne and James Williams. Round out the top 10. There's also, of course, the team standings to consider, and this is being led by the Race and Rally 4 team, ahead of Castrol MEM Rally team and M Sport Ford Rally team in third. Joe Kelly, winner of the junior event here. Carl McBride, his runner-up. Sam Mason third.
Oh, unreal. Real fast stages, real committed. It was a good battle. You know, you come over here to fight, you know, the top guys in the junior BRC, and Kyle pushes all the way. Like, that's what you come rallying for, is the close battle. So yeah, it's nice to come out on top on the gravel and class stages. So yeah, looking forward to the next one.
Fantastic result for you both. Another brilliant haul of points. Does that mean that we'll see you in the 2 Welsh rounds to come?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that was the plan anyway. The 2 Welsh rounds are parts of the Stellantis Cup, which was our plan at the start of the year. So yeah, I'll definitely be in Kincardineshire again anyway, whatever. But whatever happens after that, hopefully.
A really titanic battle then between Carl McBride and Joe Kelly, which wasn't really confirmed until after stage 8. Sam Mason with James Seymour taking third place. As far as the Junior BRC Championship is concerned, Carl McBride is still ahead, but only just. It's just 6 points now, the margin over Joe Kelly. Callum Graffin is third, having dropped a few points on this event. The Open title victory went to Alex Vassallo and Michael Gilby in their Ford Fiesta. Rob Cotton and Ethan Kidd took national honours here on the Grampian. And Robert Proudlock was the winner of BRC 3, along with Harry Marchbank. And not only did they win their class, they took an impressive 13th overall.
The spectators have been out in force on this event, and of course that means lots of fantastic fan footage. Here's the best of it. We'll be back in less than a month for what could very well be the jewel in the BRC crown. We're heading to Wales for Rally Ceredigion. A round of the European Rally Championship, this will be the chance for our BRC drivers to put themselves in the shop window. We'll see you there.